This meeting to order.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody seen today's agenda? Any conflicts of interest, comments? Agenda will be approved as written. Reading of the minutes.
November 25th, 2025, the Board of Supervisors met at 9:00 a.m. with Dave Mulbauer, Chair presiding. Members present were Schultz, Dozart, Mulbauer, Hayden, and Rossberg. Minutes of the previous meeting were read and approved. On motion, the board recognized claims for the Public Health Department and approved claims for all other departments. The board approved the resignation of Beth Haynes and Karen Doncheski, Administrative Assistant for Public Health. Changes of wages for Nolan Schmidt, Construction Employee 2, Engineer's Office, and hiring of Jacob Roosevelt and Alexander Ehlers, part-time as needed deputies for the Sheriff's Office. Phil Carlson of the Family Crisis Center gave the board an update on the services they have provided to residents of Crawford County. The Family Crisis Center is requesting funding of $15,000 for fiscal year 2027. Motion was made by Schultz, seconded by Hayden, to approve the setting of time, date, and location for public hearing for EMS essential services for January 27th, 2026 at 10:00 a.m. in the Board of Supervisors room. Motion passed unanimously. On motion, duly seconded, the board adjourned at 10:42 a.m. Agenda for the next meeting are posted and available at the courthouse on Fridays at 4:00 p.m. preceding the next meeting.
Any questions, comments to the minutes? Hearing none, minutes we approved as read. Supervisor reports, Scott.
Conservation board meeting tomorrow night. Could get. I don't want to say here, but it could.
Yeah, interesting.
Could be an interesting meeting. Hopefully. I think there's been some movement on, maybe on both sides. All since last
Good.
meeting, so.
Good. Like there was some, like attorney that was changed, kind of,
Yeah. If there's an opportunity to really improve our county, I hope it have an announcement real soon on something really nice.
Could be a really good thing, and now's the time to kind of, iron any kinks out and make sure that it's
Yeah,
good for everybody.
better to get it ironed out prior to right, probably later, so. The other thing, you're gonna see it's in the packet, but didn't make it on the agenda, is the Oak Brook thing, that property that.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's conservation property, and I think in the email, I don't think Chris had any reservations of keeping it or anything.
Seems like it's specifically set aside for one purpose, and it hasn't really that.
I mean, Glen Pollock, I think, was kind of
Right.
the one correspondence was, I remember that conversation from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Paul brought it up, that they white graded a road, and took some trees out. That was kind of a compromise, that they set aside that place. Kind of honor that agreement, I'm kind of like, got our hands tied.
It's meant to be what it is.
Yeah.
Is that the way you kind of took it on the original agreement? It kind of seemed like it was supposed to stay that way in perpetuity.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I understand that as the board of supervisors, I think we have the authority to sell it if we wanted to sell it. But I don't know if we should.
I don't know if we should
What
either.
were they wanting to keep it for, just like a preservation area?
Just because that was the original intent, I think, when they deeded it over to us, when they gave it to the county. It was like, we want you just to leave it here forever.
I guess I don't know, and I've never seen that in any documentation, if it's like native, never been turned into soil or what.
I mean, you saw that letter that one guy that went there and saw some native grasses that it was native, he thought it was native.
So I think
For the state of Iowa, that it had never been pastured, it had never been tilled, it was.
that's rarity, very rare.
Right.
And I think that's kind of how it all started, was that part of the road that got graded was native, or claimed to be native, and it got betterment of the road without any thought for that stuff.
Is it clear what the folks who wanna purchase it or wanting to do with it, are they gonna leave it?
100%.
I don't know.
See, that's kind of, you know,
Well, if anything, it's a good refresher for us to know the backstory of what it.
Right, I give credit to Terry for finding all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I know, it was fast too,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, I don't,
Must have been a
if
big
their
old fire.
intentions were just to maintain it as is, but I still don't know if we have that. I don't know. Oh, straighten up, Dave.
He's been
If
behaving.
you'd like to take any action, I don't. I mean, there hasn't been enough generations passed since that was all put into play yet.
What, do you remember when it was put in? Was it during your tenure?
Does it say in?
No, there's a,
it was in the, what, 70s?
You said it was before Paul.
yeah, Dale White, Glenn Paul, it's in the emails,
Yeah, it was, I remember.
so.
Well, there's nothing that says we have to do anything.
No, no. I know I just brought, was it Eugene or?
Can we get somebody in here to get some
There was a letter,
better refresher, like White?
no,
I
it
would
wouldn't.
be able to,
He wouldn't remember.
No,
Dale's in, Homestead now.
yeah. He's
So-
somewhere that.
like the documentation that we have is just what we have to go with. I mean, Paul would probably,
Oh, a good idea.
yeah, I mean, we could reach out to him, but he can probably tell you exactly what I said, was that just the kind of a trade-off for grading the road. You know, Glenn's very instrumental in native grasses and stuff like that. You know, they lean on him at the conservation board yet, so. Actually, I think KR Buck leans on him with some of the pheasant stuff for bringing native grasses and stuff like that. I don't know. To me, I think we leave it alone.
That wouldn't hurt nothing either.
I just don't poke a bear.
In the early 1990s,
Okay.
2 years ago, didn't want to pursue selling it. If you remember correct.
And you hate to make changes, just to make changes, if you keep it as.
Yeah, I think
Native
the
area.
spirit of the whole thing was to leave
I
it.
mean, if it don't get overgrown with weeds and stuff, I mean, if it's,
If that's their concern, that it's getting overgrown, I mean, we just paid for a new shredder and skid loader, so them guys can keep that stuff cleaned up, maybe we just need to say, you gotta get out there and work it over. I mean, I could see their concern on that.
yeah, cause especially if it's close to their home.
Yep.
But then,
I get
In
tired of dandelions finding their great fireplace.
You know, like, if it's true native grass, it should not be any, I mean, unless it's, like I said, getting overrun by mulberry trees and stuff like that, you know?
and then my correspondence with
That
Steve
should be
and
considered an
Jake,
invasive species.
neither one of them say anything about it being needed, cleaned up, it was just, oh, I see county got property.
Yeah.
Is it, could it be for sale?
Okay.
It's just nice to own stuff that's real close to you, I think.
Keep somebody else from
Yeah,
buying it,
yeah, yeah.
building something there you don't want. Tell them we're gonna keep it because we're considering building a nuclear power.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best report back to us, that we have no interest in selling it at this time. I don't know if that'll soothe their worries about somebody else owning it, but we can't give them the first right to.
Well, even if we wanted to sell to me, you'd have to go to a sealed bid or auction anyways.
It might be. Kinda like the burn deal, like kind burn Iowa, and we were approached about selling some of that property, and we said, cause they just wanted to buy it outright, so we can't do that. You know,
And it was-
never know who's gonna own it, and then they said, well, let's just leave it alone, and it's been this way for so many years, it's worked out.
It was dedicated in 1972.
The park was?
The land was dedicated to the county. 72.
Oh,
So I think.
So, and
we'd probably-
Dan has her.
And I think in 93, the county's board of supervisors then was contemplating doing something, and that's when that Glenn Pollock sent that letter stating that, hey, this is basically, that he sent that to Dale White, leave it alone, like, don't do anything.
okay.
So it's been in the county hands. Yeah, I don't know what the county's doing.
Says the supervisors transferred this area to the conservation board several years ago. That was in 2003.
Right, I think in 93 then, when the county gave, transferred to the conservation board, 'cause that's when nobody was doing nothing with it for 20-some years. Or maybe it was 2003,
2003,
when they
April 7th.
gave it to them and said, hey, yeah, somebody's gotta take care of it, let's keep the weeds down,
That
do
corresponds,
something.
that corresponds with that.
The conservation
Right.
board has no
Exactly.
reason to manage the area and is considering selling the land. I realize like supervisors can sell the land.
Carrie, that doesn't
Conservation
impact it.
board
Oh, it's in
with
the
that
back.
letter. That
And
was
then
from Lance Nelson.
corresponds to 72 with the Hoot Brook
Oh,
subdivision.
okay, yeah,
Said we could
Alright.
sell it.
I didn't look through that.
But he found it.
It's just a hand. No, he was the conservation
So,
guy back
oh,
then. He
yeah.
was,
So it's all part of it.
director of,
Okay.
Back to 90.
yeah, 2003. I think that's.
Well, it's not like it's in a spot where it's holding out development,
Just a handwritten document from the board.
expanding into businesses, or it is along railroad tracks and we wanted to put it in, say, a road shop, you know.
Yeah. Don't see it being a very sought after property.
Goes into the general.
Somebody's gotta come through us to get to it.
Conservation,
Exactly, right, good point.
yep, conservation board owns no land, the county does.
That was that Steve Brandon,
Right.
wasn't it?
Well,
He was county attorney.
he doesn't ever sign his license.
I mean, there is some security in that, but anybody wants to purchase it has to come through this board.
Because it says, you know, the original covenants and restrictions are automatically extended a successive period of 10 years. So every 10 years, whatever was in this agreement automatically goes for another 10 years. And so,
Steve
to
Brennan,
me, we should try to abide by it, like you say, unless it was development, if somebody's looking at advancing Crawford County, then I think we would have to seriously consider it, but if they're just looking at.
Succession plans, correct, we can't do anything till 2032. Every 10 years.
Yeah, right, right,
I mean,
Cause it was
right.
in 23 or 22.
Well,
it was
72,
72,
so every, right,
Yeah.
in that, in
For 10
May of 1993, Steve Brennan got his attorney general's opinion.
right. Right, I remember reading that.
History to a little parcel of ground.
It's kind of amazing, makes you wonder why they did it, you know? Cause there was, what, probably 8 partners that owned that property? But looking at all the names that signed that agreement.
Original Hoot Brook subdivision.
I
I bet
All those people, I mean,
Didn't they originally
to
plan-
all be able to get along, that's pretty incredible.
That was
To
them.
me,
That
all
was
agree
them.
that
A different,
give it away.
a different time in history.
Well, they all saw the value in putting it into the reserve like it is.
For the greater good.
For the greater good.
So I'm guessing it's hard to develop that area. I guess I guess you should drive out there and look at it.
The steep back there.
No,
There's
no, it's pretty flat, actually.
Just
I
so you
remember,
get
right?
to Know what you're looking at.
Oh, they originally planned to have a park there
Just saying.
with some playground equipment. I don't. Who knows?
I see.
Maybe, who knows how they the original thought process was on that area and how big they thought it was gonna be.
It's a good point. I mean, if you know where I live, I mean, that was Bowman's owned that property. And they owned, all of that, and their intent was to put a 9-hole golf course out there. And they showed me where they wanted it to go. But I think that was the case, that it just didn't develop like they thought it was gonna. And maybe that's the same case here, is they, like, yeah, we're gonna have a park out here for all these people. And then it just didn't develop to what they thought potentially it could be. Yeah. Makes sense.
Is that something conservation, like, really haven't been talked about? What, there's a couple camper spots out there,
Well, I mean,
would that be too costly?
I don't think that. When I say park, I mean like playground equipment,
Right.
stuff for kids, right, yeah,
Shelter house or something.
yeah. Essential place for kids to play is out there.
So this Glenn Pollock, was from Omaha. Was he related to, did he own that?
He originally, not gonna say, I always assumed he had roots in Crawford County.
I would too, but
Pollock name lives here.
I don't believe it, he's one of the kids though, like a brother. I think
Right.
Mr. Pollock was an only child. I don't know, maybe a cousin, but his letter, what he says, it serves no purpose to try to find blame, it's not useful. It was very well written
Yeah.
letter that, some good points in
I
it.
think that was his area of expertise. Seemed like when you
Seemed
read
like-
the letter that
yeah,
that he knew what he was talking about.
Absolutely.
He's a naturalist or something.
That's what I assumed when I read the letter.
It was,
Understood.
yeah. Appreciated that he didn't want to point any blame at anybody.
Yep.
Try to find a resolution to it rather than just point blame and want some money.
I don't think we do anything for them.
Especially
Especially from 22 to 32, they're really good. Kind of obligated by an agreement.
Yeah,
Could have Colin look at all that.
I don't think we need to waste his time with this.
Just if you were concerned about it. I don't think we do either. If it got down to it where somebody was tender.
I mean, if they come back, I don't think
Then you might have to do
the
something.
parties that are interested are gonna go down.
I think the thing would just be our current conservation, are they, I guess, managing it to keep the weeds out? Are they doing that? I don't know.
I would wanna find it.
write that down for tomorrow night.
If they're concerned
Just what I'm saying.
is that it's getting overgrown and we need to manage it, we need to manage it.
Exactly. We have a person out to do that.
And equipment.
And equipment.
That'd
Time.
be a nice toy. Use it.
Could you reach out to them and find out if that's what they're just,
I can't,
yeah,
I
let me know. If they're not, it's kind of a no need to poke the bear out there. But if that's their true concern, why it might be an ownership. Definitely want to bring that to Chris's attention. But if it's not, it makes no sense. Sir. I guess I just like to know what their real reason for just to
Right.
be able to control the property, or if they're, which I understand completely. Or if it's that we wanna get it because it's becoming nice.
They did it. Yeah, they do.
Nobody's made any complaints about it though, so I kind of wonder
Yeah,
if that's not.
Right, our weed commissioner didn't find us.
but I don't know if mulberry trees is on the noxious weed list yet.
Are those
I
out
said it
there?
probably should
You know?
be.
No, I don't, but
I
they're
took,
everywhere.
Right, exactly.
I took a bunch out of my river. My timber is along the river there. I was in there cleaning stuff out.
I hope you,
I got a big pile of timber I can burn now. I got a little bit of insulation or anything.
yeah, I don't know, I hope you put like nuclear waste on the roofs or something, and it's gonna be back twice as bad next year, do you think so? I don't even, I think they shut off Tordon anymore.
Probably immune to Toradon after all these years.
Anyway, that's all I have.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Well,
Interesting, I
It was
mean,
some
interesting, you're right, it was.
the documentation.
Must have had that looked up back in 23 then. Wish you got that found out quick.
yeah, I remember that being talked about now.
We talked about it, I remember that.
Very,
At first, I was trying to remember if it was the same property, but as I listened.
As far as my supervisor reports, I mean, with holiday week, it was really slow. Didn't have
but it was
anything.
there Wednesday.
Clay from, Wesco did get back to me, and they will be at our four county meeting. It's the
Yeah.
next Wednesday.
The 10th at 11 o'clock, it's at Willow Lake,
Right.
Little late,
Willow Lake,
okay.
wherever that's at.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. to be
South
honest
that
with you.
goes,
I'll drive.
Woodbine.
I'll look-
south, go south and down, no,
You go through Woodbine and
Woodbine.
you turn and
yeah.
It's out there at their fancy ground, their new building, isn't it?
conservation.
Little-
building
That would be
there.
interesting.
It's a neat road. That's one of my favorite bike roads, motorcycle, bicycle.
Yeah, you go out west of Woodbine past their new, where we met last time.
Industrial.
Yeah, I think you make it to Woodbine and cross the railroad tracks, follow the signs.
And just go back out of town.
Are you meeting then, or we're riding down together?
We should ride down together.
I mean, I
What
could
day is it?
pick you up, it'd be way out of my.
I can fit everybody in my vehicle.
Meet here?
We can meet here and I can drive.
What date is it?
The 10th at 11, I would have to leave.
We have to leave by 9.
9?
No, it's not.
Are we driving to Omaha and coming back?
How long take to get to Woodbine?
I mean, it takes like, it's 32 miles.
I think that's.
So if we left at 10, left here at 10,
Left here.
we'd be there.
Oh, I think it started at 10, it starts at 1.
Yes,
Starts
December
at-
10th at 11 o'clock. Okay.
12.
I'll probably just go for mine.
No, you have to drive here.
Alright.
Meet at 10 o'clock.
At 10. Of course.
Put down.
He could have objected.
No, I don't, learn not to object. Stuff like
So that's all, I don't have anything else.
Well, my Wednesday meeting was canceled due to no quorum, so that was interesting.
Meeting for,
Early childhood Iowa.
We have a meeting this morning that's going on right now.
Schedule. I think one of the best things that I read, this week was the, opening of Project Harmony Satellite that opened down there at, the hospital, the sheriff's department, the police. Colin was actually involved in it, if you saw the front page of the paper. Big article in the paper, Project Harmony over satellite in Denison, consolidate child advocacy services in Crawford County. So it's pretty much what we've all been waiting for. You know, it seems like our sheriff was very instrumental in helping to get that done, you know, as far as speaking to the fact that having to take children that have been harmed in any way, abused in any way, that the trip there was always a problem. And to have a satellite Denison, I think, is a huge step forward. You know,
they have an office space?
yes,
for that?
the hospital, Aaron Muck was, when they came to
Who's
her.
the go-to person?
I don't
Someone
know.
man that?
That is a fabulous question.
Okay.
I'm sure there is, you know, they have representatives, but I'm assuming it's someone from the hospital, because Aaron's comment in the paper was that when they came to her, it was how we can make this happen. So with the, you know, transition of moving to the addition at the hospital, Dr. Luck's building had services, and that's also has the
They
adult.
say how it's funded? That article?
Guys, no. I did not pick that but it's a big article. The Senior Life Solutions is also, in that same building, so it's coordinating. I will try to find all that out for us, but I just thought that that was, best news of the day, that a satellite for a child in danger.
So it's going in that building that currently they're,
Right now it has Senior Life Solutions.
is that where they're doing their physical
That's in there.
therapy?
I went to that.
You said Dr. Left's old building?
Right.
Okay.
So, but it's a great group of individuals, Tony was there from Denison, Aaron, Sheriff, good comments. So, an article worth reading and just a good thing that's happening in Denison, because we've all been concerned about always having to take and travel to Omaha and places like that. So, we have our own little spot. Good cooperation between all the entities to make that happen. That was great news. Oh, the project opens Tuesday. It's only open on Tuesday. Thanks, Tony. Tony's got the answers. The main calls still go through the Omaha office, and Martha, the assistant county attorney, and I started the discussion on this. Martha did most of the work on it. Very nice, thank you,
Who sent that to you?
Tony Trahan.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go, Tony?
You have anything you want to add that?
I'm glad it's-
Not right off, but I just want to make sure you guys knew that the Tuesdays it was open. They actually bring their nurses up here. They have 4 or 5 that come up during the week. They man the office during the week, so if anything comes up, we set up all of our appointments that day. And we were one of like 4 different locations they looked at. We got lucky enough to get it.
Glad to hear that one.
Yeah, thank you for, it was a long article, lots of information in it, so I just,
You said they looked at 4 different locations. Does that mean that it covers a pretty broad area or 4 different locations in Denison or Crawford County?
It was 4 different locations on this side of the state between here and Sioux City and Des Moines. They were looking for a satellite office to come up here for. Because every time we have something that comes up, we have to drive to Omaha, take the family down there. And in our community, when some of these things get shoved under the rug, the families don't want to deal with it. So trying to convince them to go to Omaha with an officer doesn't work. But if we can send them to the office without an officer being there in uniform, they usually will go and talk to them. So it saves us some time and energy of starting a case and they don't want to do anything with it. Now they'll actually follow through with it, hopefully on most of them.
So this office will serve basically all of Western Iowa.
That is correct.
awesome. Yeah, just, I was so pleased to see everybody working together and finally getting that done, and so thank you, I know you had a lot to do with it, Tony, so thank you.
Anytime. We're also looking for mental health services too, to be outfitted somehow or another from another agency to come into town, do the same thing. So then we have more mental health help for us during the law enforcement stuff too. So
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Concerned since they said the state was taking it over, so if we could kind of take care of our own here and not depend on, people in the big cities, that'll be a step forward. So, here we go. Everybody working together is a way to get it done.
absolutely.
All right, that was my good news of the day.
All right. Thank you.
I didn't know
Thanks,
that.
Tony.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Ain't that kind of though funny though, weird how we got people reaching out to find alternate mental health sources
Correct.
already? And we ain't even through the first year of the
I know.
state rolled out mental health fix all.
Yeah, I was, like I
Well, Miss
said,
Garcia kind of packed up her suitcase and left, kind of like, run.
Yeah. I guess we, as a board, I don't think this should surprise us.
no,
We
No.
kind of always said it was probably the beginning of the reset.
right. And I just thought that it was a great way to open up the paper and see that great group of individuals that have worked together.
I've seen that on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
glad to see it.
Tony, as far as financing, how does that actually work? Do you know the backstory on that?
I do not on that one. I'm not sure how the whole thing came together.
Yeah, well, I'm sure somebody does, but as long as it's nothing we have to be concerned about, then, we'll carry on. All right, sorry, thank you.
I didn't have anything last week. holiday, so CDI, Central Iowa, never sent out anything, so I'm assuming we didn't have a meeting, of course, I just go and sit there if I go, so. They'll figure out what's going on, they're still working on all that.
Coming all pretty, probably sooner than later, or next year, you think?
Oh, it'll be in the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a pretty good talk with Lance. Function we just had. I was at a child's wedding, him and I sat at the table together, so we had a little talk about it. They're working on, getting that all straightened out. So that when we do the 2080, which I think it's got to be coming pretty soon. We'll see. With that place over there, I don't hold my breath anymore. Just wait in anticipation.
Maybe next year, huh?
Yeah, don't know. I mean, there was a lot to sort through. There's good people there, so they're already reaching out to try to get along with everybody, so that's a plus.
I mean, before I forget, Ty, when you mentioned the word 2080, I mean, I guess I did have our 2080 meeting last Tuesday after the board meeting with city and school on the Imagination Station. And that's doing extremely well financially. I mean, they have the highest balance I think they've ever had. And in the financial report, it goes back 7 years, and they have the most money they've ever had over a 7-year time
Because they
period.
don't
So
have a payment anymore.
what's
They
that?
don't have that payment anymore, so that'll help.
I mean, they did raise the rent to everybody. I know I brought that up to the board before, so that has helped.
Me too.
I know for a few years, like when Eric and I were on it, it seemed like they'd kind of get a little bit of a cushion
Right.
and then all new heaters.
Yeah,
Or
new refrigerator,
You know, and it
flooring,
just-
new
you'd get ahead a little bit, but then it would,
line.
Which I'm glad to see they're finally getting ahead.
Right, right.
So then do you
Right, I think,
start an investment for repairs or, I mean,
They have a hard time keeping staff too.
They do.
To
well,
make sure
yes,
that
they
they
do.
have the
It's always been
ratio.
a chore to keep a director down
That's
there.
another problem.
Despite some salaries.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't,
part of it is benefit.
no, those are discussions that, so it's kind of different because we have the 28E board. And then you have the Imagination Station board
Yeah,
that kind of handles the day-to-day activities of the director, reports to that Imagination Station board. So it's
Yeah.
a little weird
It
how
is a
how it
little.
works.
I remember when we built that, they were kind of getting that structure going. And it was,
I mean, we're the entities that stick the money in it,
yeah,
us, the city and the school.
Yeah.
So that's why we had the 28E, and I think they didn't want to manage.
We
the
were just
day-to-day
basically
activities, so
about
let's-
the building itself.
Right, the
Yeah.
building itself,
Material.
exactly.
you are right.
I got a question for
Have to
that.
hire.
Has anybody ever seen a true 2080 agreement? Was this supposed to dissolve after they became solvent?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just a good question. Cause some of them.
Sometimes they are.
That's
once
still
it
my
gets to a
question.
point where it can run itself and have the funds there,
Right.
do we need to keep kicking in? What do we put in?
13 grand a year, everybody gets.
You'd hate to lose that. I hate to use the word control, but if you just start giving that money to a board that you have
I
no.
mean, if we quit giving money.
Right, if we quit giving money, we don't
If you
need.
quit giving money, then I think we could, but as long as we're still putting money in, I think we should have.
Well, that's why
Somebody-
my question was if there became a point, according to the 2080 agreement, that they could carry a positive balance, that the 2080 agreement would dissolve, so then we would all quit putting money in
Right.
it. And then become fiscally responsible for
When
themselves.
Colin comes, let's skip to look into that because that.
Well, we'd have to see the 2080 agreement.
Right, I have to see the original 2080 agreement.
Sure.
Not saying I necessarily
You guys
need,
have that back there.
necessarily need or want that.
I guess I don't know of the
Some
12,
discussion.
13,000 each entity gives every year. Are we getting to the point where none of it's used and it's all going to the bank, or maybe part of that's still getting used?
I mean, it was all getting used until probably the last 12 months.
Right.
The last payment, we really probably nobody needed to kick in. It's what, 13, and 13, so 39,000. And they have a balance of about 100 grand. So do they really need that 40 grand?
Whoa. I don't know.
Maybe they did
Because
that.
currently their monthly income, at least the last 2 months, has been more than what they've spent. And that's not, you know, we don't pay for the director. I think that's all done through the fees that they charge the parents. Pays for that. So we're just paying for the custodian, supplies. So I'm trying to think of what else is on there.
Yeah.
Yes, there
Yeah, she is.
DMU. I think we paid for that.
She's on the other board. She's on the management board.
So
are technically. I don't know, I remember.
that's a good point, Kyle. I have to read through the original 2080 and see, because I know sometimes those are, they're formed, they're started, and they sunset once you reach a certain point.
Yeah, I'm not advocating that that's.
Right, I understand this, but it's a good question to bring up.
Yeah, you don't want to risk losing health or childcare because, I mean, that's a national issue.
Right.
People are still running campaigns on that. We watched that all fall, you know?
I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Childcare is huge. I mean, both parents working or with
I
one
think it
parent
needs to be
household.
free, but I think it
It
needs
was on
to
the
be
density
available
council
at
when we built
at a-
that. There was.
Good rate.
opposition.
The argument I always hear, I think we've heard back in the day, especially like when Schleswig or Manila got going with their daycare.
Yep.
He said, hey,
Some communities did it on their
we're
own.
doing it without county funding.
Yeah,
We would take 13,000 a year from the county.
you bet.
Pretty solid argument.
Solid.
That's a very solid argument.
Fair.
I think daycare is, you know, it's just a matter of always, I would rather not do this constant support from them while they're doing well. And then that obviously ensures that they do their management and don't rely on it, but it'd be nice to have a little, kitty to help.
I mean, right, it came from
If
the,
they had a major breakdown or came up with, oh my God, we had all our heating systems go out, and we can't, that'll eat up all our reserves and then if you wanted to consider helping out with something, we don't have any ARPA monies anymore, but.
I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, it was a priority from the governor. The governor has incentives for daycares that start to get some grant money.
There's
I mean, we looked at it through our church locally because we got rid of our preschool, and so we thought about doing a daycare, but when we penciled it out, we just couldn't make it profitable. Then we went to the parishioners and just said, hey, do you want this to be a mission project? It's something that we want to pay for. And they're like, no, it's not. So we don't have one, but we certainly have the facility. But I know we talked to, Danny Sagbart came up and met with, our people, and it's just wasn't something that we determined we could do. But you say Manila and Schleswig have made a profit, or at least made it break even, where they can meet all their expenses.
And they did they worked hard to do a lot of.
I mean, they got
fundraisers
right.
too.
Manila,
Fundraising.
the community of Manila certainly supports that without a doubt. And they should be commended.
Some famous stuff. We
It's
got.
like we got a, big boost up with the development from someone to get things started and some funds, some things helped along the way, but they're full of the waiting list too, which says a lot.
Right.
These communities that have young families.
They run a good show down there
They
too, though.
do.
They do, they run a tight
They
ship.
do.
It's very, very nice daycare.
But you
Yeah.
can't work if you can't,
I guess the
kids.
step would be to find a 2080 agreement that if there's property tax reform happens, we're gonna be looking for every little bit of chisel room. we can
It's
get.
happening.
Governor's talking about,
It's gonna happen.
it's her priority this year. You know what, so was that you I was talking to about the penny sales tax?
Could be.
I kind
Yeah, and there was you.
of, well,
I was just talking to somebody last week about it.
I talked to, I think Don Cass brought it to me and I brought it to you. And
Yeah.
so if they're gonna cut our
What you-
property taxes, do we get to cut things that they mandated to us and say we're pushing them back to you?
Their senior tax credit, their veteran tax credit back.
Well, I mean, they've shoved a lot of stuff on our plate in the last 3
Go
years.
ahead.
They have really.
Without a doubt, Kyle.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And the legislature, the frustrating part of the legislature takes credit for it, right?
Yeah,
Right, and
And then they don't.
I don't think
And
we
then
should
it's,
ever
then,
be allowed to
right, we
campaign.
take the
in
credit for
paper.
this, and then we blame you guys for having a high tax rate.
exactly.
That's what the legislature's done.
And a lot of the stuff they
That's the
do,
frustrating
I
part.
get behind, I can be behind it, but the way they went about it is just downright dirty politics.
Right, and it's not party against party,
No,
it's state versus local,
Yeah, it is.
you know,
right.
and we're all, a lot of us are all in
They're
the
all
same
in
party.
collusion on some of those
Right.
things that don't matter a party,
Right,
we're
yeah.
just trying to dump our taxes on
Me,
somebody else.
Exactly.
Or our
Part of the
expenses,
grand-
not our
to
taxes.
me, it's part of the grand illusion of a bigger picture, bigger goal of elimination of.
I think the
Right.
Catholic Church had a name for that, it's called robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Well, if
But they
you
always
make
go
one,
back, don't give us anything, but don't require anything. We'll figure out mental health and everything else, services locally, but stay out of it altogether.
Yeah.
take what's yours and deal with it, and we'll deal with ours. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I do think that what you're talking about though, that penny sales tax for, and then that just goes to the school systems.
Yeah.
And then they get, and I think you take them off of our property tax rolls, period.
I think that,
Because if you leave them on there some, it'll start to grow again.
oh, yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, so you take them off of that, but that can't fund the schools and the sales tax fund it. You know, I mean, if there's things that we wanna do to help a school here, that's our business. You know, but I think you take them, I mean, and that would significantly, by half, have property tax. So you wanna be serious, you know, I mean, it's my adage that I came back from my first NACO with, find alternative sources of revenue to help offset your cost to your local taxpayer. You know, and I mean, this would be a shared cost and it would share it with other people from outside the state of Iowa.
I mean, it's been this isn't a new story. I mean, the counties used to pay for everything. And then the states came in and when was that, in the seventies, to pay for education?
Yeah.
To lower the property tax, because property tax was too high. I mean, I did the story about the county supervisors that went from 5 to 3. They formed a committee because they thought property taxes were too high in the 1950s. Because the counties were paying for everything. So, I mean, this isn't something that is new, it's something that, it seems like as the state has taken more things over, we've certainly lost control. And the taxpayer is kind of run for a loop. They don't, you know, I think Ty, you brought up a good point, because from a national standpoint, we all want our income taxes cut back, and we say, hey, why don't you go to a national sales tax or a value added tax, something to lower our income tax? But you're right, if they did that, they would still have that opportunity to start, well, we'll just do 1% income tax. You know, and then slowly it would start to creep up and they would get their pie or their cake and eat it too, because now we got the national sales tax or value added tax, and then we'll just keep creeping up the income tax. And it needs to be that, no, you can never implement an income tax ever again.
Yeah.
And, you know, otherwise, if you do that for the schools, you have to say, then the schools can never tax the property of the citizens of Iowa for income, never.
And
And make them
consider,
go against that.
and you consider what we
Make it vote
see just here in Crawford County on what it cost us on property tax for the schools. Gotta imagine what Polk County or one of them where you got massive schools,
Dallas, I mean,
Dallas Center.
where all they build all
Dallas
these new schools just to keep up with the population, but you know.
Yeah, but see, then you know, I mean, will the sales tax keep up with it? I mean, that's, surely we've got some kind of a study started, or at least they should get one started. But I think that we gotta figure out something like that,
I don't
instead of
know.
just saying, you guys gotta cut everything.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
Does that all fall on our shoulders then?
I mean,
We cut the courthouses, but they don't, I mean, when was the last time you heard somebody say we're cutting teachers?
We
I
see
heard
the
that.
person that
I don't
running
want them
for
to.
governor on the Republican side said, we are gonna freeze or cut property taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's gonna do. When he gets in, well, something's gonna happen before he gets in, I guarantee that. But, or if he gets in.
He's just, that's a can.
Right, he's just saying that as a campaign, I understand that.
Hey, before before we hand it to Ben, supervisor, our statewide supervisor meeting for January is open. Go ahead and register. And we probably gotta be down there the night before, don't
Yeah,
we?
we do, you do.
But, well, you got education.
Yeah, you do too now. I do.
So we gotta, I just wanted to put that out
I
there.
saw a guy.
And then I haven't started to do it. How do they do our agenda? I wasn't there when we set up any district meetings before. Do they do the agenda down there?
Talk to, Kelsey about that,
Elsie or Rachel?
or Rachel, yeah.
I'm gonna.
I know last
Call, they'll work,
last year they did.
yep,
With the
they'll
little,
help you with the agenda.
Okay, I mean, I wanna bring this, obviously Don Cass is gonna bring it up, whether it's on the agenda or not, but these are the kind of things I'd like to talk about and be rational about it with our red state budget. I've got some that said they're coming, others I haven't heard back.
Oh,
Steve said he'll
On
come
our district meeting,
for a district meeting up in Storm Lake next, on the 17th.
To me, it's kind of like our 4 county meeting, just bigger.
Yeah, it's a bigger 4 county meeting, simply put, you know. But it's a good one because we get state reps there to talk about the issues that they're going into the state house with. You know, so I mean, and if we talk to them civil, we'll be able to open lines with them.
I don't want to be silly.
They'll never accomplish it.
that's overrated.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
we ended up getting Schultz firing at everybody and,
Craig's bringing a club.
oh my God, that did not go very well. We still got guys complaining about that meeting.
Well,
But
I know a Schultz.
Did you get
They're
the,
hard, they lose their cool.
they're hard to get along with, is that what you're saying?
Right.
Sometimes.
Anyway,
Chairman knows.
What?
did you get the
You
minutes?
can always tell a
you
Schultz,
send
you
them?
can't tell them much.
That's for your review.
Like D. I'll look it up. I don't remember.
I agree with that.
Sorry, I'm done.
Nope, nope,
Okay.
that's good to bring up. Go ahead, Ben.
You mentioned. Yeah.
Okay.
Good enough.
Start with our. Sorry, I just noticed I have this mislabeled on here. It's not a bridge replacement project. It's our HMA widening. Just copy and paste wrong there, but still scheduled for letting there in January. Nothing, of course, nothing changing there. It's kind of keeper. And like I said, I'm hoping to see some good prices in January. I know, oil prices kind of somewhat come down from what I've seen, and hopefully we're kind of on the high side with our estimate on that, and we'll get some good prices on it. So, time will tell. Great crew. They are finished for the season. They did had just enough time to kind of get our property over there in Charter Road shaped up to what we kind of gonna consider finished grade for where the hopefully the future shop sits there. And my opinion, it looks really good.
I think
Finished work they
looks
did.
good.
So
Look,
I think everybody's really happy with it. We're still gonna try and get a fence in along the north side of that. It's,
Got a nice bit of them out there.
I think,
Is there electric fence up there now?
there is.
I thought I could see it this morning, just was double checking that.
it's got a kettle in there.
So, okay.
But I don't know about anybody else. I don't trust just a hot wire to keep.
Well, last year, the cows stayed there a long time, and that's when you really, I mean, if they're only there for a week or two, it'd probably be all right, but whether they're
Long
great,
term.
yeah.
But I think we're gonna try and sneak it and finish up our fencing on that. That way, kind of.
Let's see what, not this week, but next week it's supposed to warm back up, and they'll get something in there.
Melt something out where he can find some.
I mean, if you could even just go and get the steels in and the wires and come back in the spring and get the woods put in, that's.
It would be, yeah,
Yeah.
to have an actual fence there, would be best, so.
but that's the intent there, and, but otherwise, the great crew is shut down. Bridge crew, they're shut down as well. We finished up with our construction projects, good time there too, finishing up, over there over by the Bell Bridge on that River Road, they did that. They'll be just maintenance up, equipment, you know, some of them around with the snow over the weekend, still do a little bit of, you know, pushing snow, some of the guys, but, aside from that, maintaining of equipment and, you know, fabrication of next year's, bridge members, and, this time of year, they just get in and start welding pieces up for what we're gonna do next year. But, roadside crew, they are shut down for the season. Of course, so that snow removal over the weekend, I believe went well. It wasn't a terrible snow. It didn't blow quite as bad as it could have, I guess. Glad to see. It was a good first snow to have. I think we got about 6, 7 in, or a little bit more on the east end there. I think up around Boyer area, maybe you can call a little bit more of it. But Friday night we elected not to send trucks out, knowing that, you know, by the time we get trucks out there late afternoon, really, it'd be undone. You know, it's just gonna continue to snow the rest of the night. Whatever we've done, been undone within the hours. So we were out there first thing Saturday morning, and so just hit her hard then, and get all the guys out there, out mid morning, decided to put out motor graders too on the gravels, started building up pretty good there. Aside from that, finished up, I believe we had everybody as of Sunday night, pretty well, everything opened up, or, you know, a lot of guys that over their routes, you know, maybe a couple passes over their routes, but everything should have been open by Sunday night. Now the guys have spent some time just kind of pushing things out and getting things flattened out, and making room for the next snow. So,
Yeah.
good,
Warm up.
good for snow. Like I said, avoid that ice and whatnot, but usually seems to happen for some.
Avoided ice and drifts, I mean, for most
Right.
of our.
It was a heavy
We
wet
got
snow.
pretty fortunate. I mean, first
There was
snow's
some
always
drifts,
a
but
pain in the butt for people driving.
My ditch
But
was full.
Right, you know what's gonna happen then, our state,
Yours are full.
It blew. Yeah.
I mean, I got
Glad it went
my
with-
pickups out,
late
there was some blowing going on.
Saturday night.
there's some roads that are plugged shut, you know,
Some of our.
always a good reminder that there is work to be done, or could be done to, you know, grade and try to eliminate some of that. You know, and during construction season, if it's agreeable us to.
You right till next week?
When they don't want us to move.
33, 36, 39, 39.
Yields
I don't
in
know.
next year, so. What, they just don't want to bother, don't.
We are disturbing the ground, you know, there is just a little bit of, I don't want you to, maybe we disturbance next week, the ground, you know, so I can see it both ways, it's an improvement on the road, but,
Have you ever talked to like, you know, like when we did that road that runs out there? You know, Todd uses all the time.
Oh,
And McCall's didn't want to do their side, and the other side, I mean, it'd be neat to find out from the farmer, how did that affect your yields in the next year? That way you
I
got
have
that
heard
as a
that.
sales pitch.
I have heard back, it does, it takes a couple of years to bounce back, all because on, you know, a lot of guys will, you know, after doing some of that, maybe, spike with a little more manure, and throw a little more fertilizer out there than they typically would, otherwise, to kind of perk it back up, but, after a few years, I think it bounces back pretty decent. We do try to do our best.
I can handle it.
Over the back.
And they do a good job of reclaiming the topsoil. I mean, we
Yeah.
farmed that one farm you guys did last fall, and in the corn this year, I mean, we didn't put any manure on it. We just don't have access to it.
Yeah,
I couldn't hardly tell,
couldn't tell the difference. See, that's what I mean, if you got a sales point like that,
you know.
where you can show, especially in different, because the soil is gonna be different in different areas.
Does it help if you hit it with calcium or gypsum?
I suppose it probably would, but they did a good enough job getting the topsoil
Back.
and pushed back in, because usually after you disturb the dirt, I mean, that's usually a 3-year project before you notice.
But that's if you don't recover your topsoil properly.
Even, I mean, just
I think
disturbing
you'd
the makeup of the soil,
Yeah.
getting your microbes and your organic matter back into
Good point.
Put it, back in the check, back in the equal, you know?
Yeah, if you don't strip that topsoil back, it'll be noticeable for years. I've been in fields where, having terraces built, they didn't pay mind the stripping back the topsoil and, to this day, it ain't quite the same as what it could have been, that topsoil sitting on a terrace now. Yeah,
I
so,
always see it when we push the terraces back out.
yep, exactly. So it has an effect. I think the guys do a good job, stripping back as much, the topsoil as they possibly can, and, that gets veneered back over the top. It makes a world difference, but anytime you disturb the ground, I'm sure it's noticeable in the upcoming, 2-3 years, to get it burned back up to what it might have been. So that is a bit of a hesitation, but we hope the roadway improvement offsets that a little bit for everybody.
Well, when you can actually get through there, I mean, you look at like that road where we're talking about, used to, once the first snow hit, you're done for the winter on that road. I mean, that was a mess, but there was cuts in that over deep as a truck is high. But now that sucker blew off all last year. I'd like to see it, if we get a good snowy winter this year, see how that road stays open all.
We went on a couple where we got tackled specifically because of the snow issues on the roads the good one out there by, Cadres, so, looked to me like it blew right across it, like where it would normally go, but, yeah, we got a call from another one that we did, up in by yourself there, Kyle, up on J Avenue, that one. A little bit of snow up on the road just because of the direction of the wind, but, comparison to what it would have been had we done nothing on that road, it would have been plugged tight, I'm not sure.
That's over west of your place.
It's a.
Not the one you're talking about, the west.
No.
Oh, okay, Doral, I got it.
Yeah. Improve the road tremendously, where, it would have been, it probably would have been tripped and shut pretty good, from this last year. So, but, that's not so bad, so.
Well, that's what we're charged to do, is try to maintain and improve our road network.
Yeah. But storms like this that, the wind blows and drifts of snow, remind us that there's still other areas that we can do if everybody's agreeable, so. Yeah. But,
Okay.
We did fill the Dow City, motor grader position and the West Side position, we do, Kyle, same part.
I'm from them.
Right. He is going to take the West Side position over there, I think long term, that's
How you
where
replaced him, what was he doing?
getting motor grader for the gas in right here.
Okay.
So we are looking, got those positions filled.
Okay.
We're looking for Denison motor grader operator, so we are gonna have that out, put that out. That we have a position for the Denison area here.
And I heard you had one of your part-time guys that was interested in maybe switching over to motor grader too. Earl.
Yeah, he was interested in the West Side. Yep. Hard decision to make, between guys up, the two, Jerome and Kyle, both very good, would have been very good selections for that position. Jerome right there in town, Kyle has a little more, he's been running blade, been proven that he's done a great job, especially around the Denison area here. I hate to lose him in this area, but that is an area where his family's from. It's where he wants to land. I think that having him over there, that we'll have a great motor grader operator there for years to come. Having him where he wants to be for his family. So, no, we decided that direction. So, but yeah, we do have a position here in Denison. But that Denison shop for a motor grader operator. We're gonna try and get that advertised out and somebody in that seat hopefully before the next snowstorm. Get them sometime behind. Yeah. I shouldn't say behind the wheel, it's all joystick now.
I don't know that I'd fly. Right into the ditch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they say if you ran one before, all the levers and wheels and whatnot, and you go to this, you never go back, but it's a change,
Something to get used to.
Yeah, I never
I
ran
tried
one.
to wrap my head around that one.
Tell all the guys that play, I can't tell you how to run one of these things.
I wait till we get semis like that.
All I can say is what I want the roads to
I'll be
look
done
like.
by then.
So,
Okay.
yes, yeah, and then, of course, I get to, me and Tim will be going black part of this week, Wednesday, and Friday, at engineers conference there, and,
Probably good.
you know, a lot of good information there, and then, of course, December 18th, we'll have our Christmas luncheon out at Yellow Smoke Park there.
Be careful, don't get tied up with weight.
Feels fine, man.
No height.
Oh, he's a good guy.
I sent him, the hotel we were staying at, you know, when I went out for the rural action caucus, where the Dubliner,
Well, I've got meeting tonight.
That's an Irish.
I'm
Right.
bar.
and that's where he likes to stop. We're out to the top, and our March, February, we go out this year. Have one night and go eat there, have a beer, have a Guinness. So I sent him pictures. We're staying in the hotel. Didn't even have to walk outside. Anyway,
He'll be there.
he's a good guy. He knows a lot.
Yeah.
He's like Paul, he's an encyclopedia.
And just a great guy. I mean, if there's ever something I need to know, I could go where he did.
I told him sometimes about watershed out there, so he was out, that's what he did out in
What is
LA.
it? Geospatial with the
I
towers?
think you can blame them for their fires, they probably.
Yeah. And Paul stopped in yesterday morning, I think he plans on being out there as well, so.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna chat him up a little bit, have my list of questions. Yeah, so,
Awesome.
Okay,
good.
well, thank you for coming up, guys.
Thanks.
I'll go treat you.
Thanks, guys.
The tree shares me. Already done. Best thing we bought this year.
All right, Taya,
Yes.
we're ready for you.
Good. Getting good use of that.
Come on.
Good morning, Taya.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good, how are you guys today?
Good Thanksgiving?
Yes, busy, which is good. Got home late last night, so I was excited to actually come in person. I thought I was gonna have to zoom in for the first time.
Oh,
But
you made it.
yes. So, I don't know if you got my form. Perfect, thank you.
Colin,
I can
I
fill
think
you
he
in
was
on
gonna
that.
come over.
We just need to let him know.
I'm calling in.
County attorney just
Yeah, fabulous.
Terry sent the copy that you sent to the county attorney.
Just for her to look over, make sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you have to have it submitted today?
Yeah, so the state gave people 3 weeks to get this done. And we've been working like crazy the last 3 weeks to get everything put together. Still working like crazy. We're hoping to submit at 3 PM today. It's due at 4. So 3-week timeline is quick
Everybody
for
works.
everything that they wanted, which is great, because I love the fact that we're checking all the boxes, making sure everything's in place, but it's made me do a lot of work in 3 weeks. Our whole team's been working on it, so it's
That's
okay.
what Shannon said, our last
Yeah, we
hospital
would-
meeting, and
I think I was still working on emails at like 11 o'clock last night, started again this morning. Just making sure we got everything together. Hoping that we have everything together. I feel like it's very detailed. But good things. I think the biggest thing with Crawford is we've already done so much here that we need to make sure that we acknowledge everything that's already been done as well, and give credit to the counties that.
So is
need that
this
credit.
state opioid funds that has been released?
Yep, so the state released 7 million in opioid funds for this round, up to $1 million per entity. We are still finalizing our number, not quite sure where we're at, that we just added a couple more 100,000 this morning, so trying to get a decent amount in there in lots of ways that we can support projects that we're already doing, things we're already doing, not necessarily branching out anything new, but there's 2 new projects that we'd like to do, but they're significantly larger, so state money is perfect for those, so. Kind of working on a couple things, and some of this came from our last conversation here on some options that we might be able to try.
It sounds like you're gonna be traveling a little bit
I'm sure a
with
lot, lately.
the camper.
Yes, so I actually had Calhoun County reach out yesterday. Their board of supervisors, or their opioid fund board, whatever. Heard about our trailer, wanted to do the same thing, and their board's like, well, if Carroll County has already funded this, why don't we just partner with somebody who already has it in place?
They got a camper donated, that they get to go around and.
But we've got, I think the furthest we have on the books for first summer is Mason City. So everything else otherwise is probably within an hour radius, but that's exciting.
How bad,
The morning start.
Hiding
how
place,
bad is
all
like
that.
specifically opioid part of the treatment? I mean, are we getting past and seeing less still?
No, fentanyl's cheap, it's easy to make.
So fentanyl's considered part of this?
Yeah, fentanyl's
Okay.
with opioids, pain pills, I mean,
I was thinking specifically like oxy and stuff like that.
fentanyl, heroin, and pain pills are all considered opiates.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing a lot of.
I definitely see fentanyl routinely, yeah. Pills, it's hit or miss, definitely see pain pills. I would still
So there's
say,
no reduction in fentanyl at all?
no, I've seen an increase, I've not seen a reduction at all. No.
I need to beat that crap.
I don't know, I would love to have that answer. I have to say, I've seen a reduction in local people using our services in residentially. My outpatient numbers are a little bit lower too, now whether that's because we're getting ahead of things locally or lack of ability to get to our services.
Oh,
So I have a couple of thought processes in there, but I do feel like we're out talking to a lot more local people, and I feel like a lot of the locals that I'm seeing are getting help sooner than later. We are seeing more people get help sooner than what they have in the past, so I can't say it's reducing our numbers, but I feel like we are getting to people sooner.
how would you track the ability to get to the services? How would
That's a
that?
good question.
Okay.
That is a good question. So what I currently track is referrals that physically can't get to us, but they're not just local, they're statewide. Uber now offers a medical transport service that I'm just starting to look in, but there's financial cost with that,
That's what
obviously.
who's gonna pay for that?
Yep,
They're offering it,
we can get services, it's just who wants to pay for it.
right?
So, but the Uber one's new. I actually just found out about that in the last 24 hours. I think I've
We
heard
got
about it yesterday.
Uber around here other than not in Council Bluffs, I suspect.
I don't know that answer, so I only found out about the service yesterday, so it's on my to-do list to look into because I don't know if they'll service here.
And
I'm gonna
for a
find it out.
cost.
And I'm
For
sure
a
there's a cost, yeah.
To get a.
Mary
year.
Greeley uses them. They're the ones that told me about it.
Yeah.
Because
Where's she at?
Mary Greeley's out of Ames.
Ames. They would have
So-
over there.
Yeah, they use it,
Yeah.
but, and they said that they do send them
See if I
significantly,
can get a car for it.
there you go, to different places, so. We're researching, so one of the things in this specific document with you guys, it does talk about transportation, so last time I was here. Jean had brought up, relooking at the outpatient facility in Denison. And I have presented that to my facility again to look at, and it is something that we can look at. I went and looked at the building. The problem with that is the only space that's open is a big conference room downstairs, if I looked at this correctly.
Right.
Gorgeous building, by the way. I don't think I've been in there in years. So to run an outpatient facility, not only would we need a conference room, but we'd need an admissions area and office to have individual sessions in. So you need more than just a conference space. And by the looks of that, the VA is already in the admissions space, and the other room down there is used by public health or home health, or is it the
Public
same
health.
entity? Okay.
Would partitions work? At one point in time, we had talked about
Potentially,
getting
yes.
partitions and.
But that room's probably only big enough for group rooms, so if you make it any smaller, then you can't have groups in there either. So
One day,
the
one time they
real,
put in like sliding partitions.
Right, we had.
so
talked
like
about
in
that.
in our conference room meeting, we have sliding partitions, but then they are not. You can hear what's going on the other side, so we have to be careful with that, you know, but you can white noise machine music, so. There might be potential there, I'm just not sure it would be able to fully accommodate a functioning outpatient program. Even if it was 2 days a week, you'd need a secretary here during those 2 days, you need a counselor here and be able to offer group sessions. So you need 3 areas at the minimum.
In order to even have like your, sessions, you could just do one of those where you have the group session to give them a place to go to be, counseled as a group, what you call it.
Just like a group session, you're right?
Yeah.
So. Kind of where we came up with as a starting point is in this agreement, we talk about,
I haven't had a chance to read this, so.
no problem, no problem.
Could be answered that. read it.
Nope, you're fine. What we were looking at doing is hiring somebody to truly offer transport services, because we can't find anybody to do it. So we would like to do it ourselves, obviously following the scope of not enticing people we have to be careful.
Sure.
But if we have one of our staff come up here to utilize that large space, apologize, got all this time here, to do like intake assessments, they'd have to be scheduled through Manning, and then we would come up here to do them. That way people could at least get to that building. And then, we would offer transportation for the outpatient services in Manning. We'd come up, pick people up from that location. That would be like the gathering, and transport to Manning for the group services. And transport back. It would require us to hire somebody to do that. So that would be the
Is
biggest
that
cost.
full-time then? Full-time?
It's what I'm working on. I feel like if we're gonna hire somebody, I need to figure out how to make it full-time. Because group therapy is a minimum of 2 nights a week. Plus individual sessions, or if they need a higher level of care to be down there every day, we need to make sure we have the ability to provide that full-time service. So what we have proposed is, yes, a full-time position. We have 2 large transport vans. We're looking at getting a 3rd. So we have the vehicle. It would be hiring a full FTE to make that happen. And then the assessment space here would be for the individual assessment. If we use that office, then, or that space, then you would only need 1 space. We could offer the assessment still here. And then if a patient doesn't qualify, we haven't wasted their time dragging them to Manning.
Correct. Could Region 12 help at all with transportation?
We work with Region 12 already. It's a great program. They don't have enough people either. And even then, lots of our patients do use Medicaid rides. They get canceled, they get dropped, somebody can't pick up the ride, and then you have to give them 48 business hours to reschedule. So even if they cancel the ride, we now have to push patients back 2 days because it takes another 48 hours to reschedule,
How is
so.
the Southwest Iowa Transit? Is that the same thing that
Swida,
G
the
brought up?
Swida bus out of,
Right.
I think it is,
They,
but
they drive like from Harlan to Denison
They
7
do
days
their-
a week, don't they?
they do, I don't think they cover Carroll County, that's Region 12. I think they're the same, just different areas.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. So that sounds like fairly, yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yes, I think Region 12 is the version, so it depends on where people come from. We have, I mean, the Swida bus does bring people our direction, but they're established over here somewhere. It is covered by insurance, but once again, if they're not dropped, if they show up, if they have somebody to take that ride, so we see lots of issues all the time with it. And really, I've been asked for years, the best way for us to do it is to offer our own transport services. There are facilities, I work with Ivory Plains in Adele all the time, they will travel 3.5 hours from their facility to help pick people up. But as a hospital, we have a little bit more regulations and we can't entice people to our facility. You can't entice people for care at your facility, it's against regulations, so we have to be very careful of what we're doing. But if we come to them for the initial intake, then we could transport them for services if they don't have it. So we are looking at needing to hire a full.
Who created that rule?
I don't know, probably, I can't answer that for you, I apologize. CMS is one of our over regulations,
I mean, the way they're doing all these mental health things anymore, I mean, they might have to readjust the damn rules here.
they might have to, that would be a question for the hospital lawyers, I apologize.
No, that's fair.
I can't answer that one off the top of my head, I'm sure, I was given that information from my administration. So it came
It
from
ain't
above
like
them.
you're out trying to hunt people down, you're out trying to help people.
No, we're trying to help people, that's the goal, but I can, as a medical provider, I can see the pros and negatives, positives and negatives. I see very few negatives, I see mostly pros, but it's not my call. So,
But what
Yeah,
happens?
say, since we got Colin here,
We did.
respectful of his time.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything you wanna go over in the memorandum while he's here.
So, so my review of it, just in the very beginning, there's just a parentheses that seem to be missed, just a typo thing around Crawford County, not a big deal.
This, you want me to give it, Taya, I probably don't have a copy of, what your changes are?
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I don't have a copy of your changes.
Yeah, all my changes are in red, all my changes are.
Oh, okay.
in red. So if you want to flip to paragraph 3.1,
Yes,
my copy had lines through detoxification services and residential substance use treatment. I don't know
So does ours.
Okay, well, yeah,
You got a
that's,
Tom's copy.
yeah,
I
my
got your
copy.
copy. That's
But that's,
it.
it was provided to me in that way,
Right, that's
with those lined out.
Copy, I see.
But those services are identified throughout the agreement
Yes, they are. I apologize about
a
that.
number of times, so I didn't know if that was,
So we would offer those services in Manning. We would not expect those services to be offered in Crawford
Okay.
County. I do apologize. I think that was the intent behind the lines through, that we wouldn't be able to offer those in Crawford County. But throughout the rest of it, we would be able to offer those in Manning, in our residential program. That is probably not very clear in there.
okay.
So those,
Yeah, I didn't know if it was meant to be like that or not, I just noticed the discrepancy and wanted to point it out.
Yep, I do understand. I've read it so many times that in my head it makes
Oh, I
sense, but
get
that
it.
doesn't mean anything.
I get it.
Just because it makes sense in my head.
so the line should not be through that in 3.1.
I think we should better clarify it. Those are the two services we cannot physically offer in Denison.
Parentheses, Manning only, right?
Yes, something to clarify that that can only be offered in Manning. Obviously, I don't have those abilities at Crawford County.
Good.
But ideally, we'd be able to offer the outpatient treatment here in that larger room, potentially. I think the goal of this is we're trying to figure out how to get there. We would like to use state grant money to figure out how to get there. And that relationship with you guys is key to do that. So kind of just memorandums of understanding. We do have the ability to open these
Yep,
at any point, obviously. But yes, I can better clarify that and send you a copy.
Sure.
Okay.
and
That
then,
way you got it read here through the rest, because it was mentioned.
Yep.
yeah, just to highlight
Yes,
the.
yes, I apologize.
discrepancy.
We need to better clarify that.
And then, I included on the back page, severability clause. Now, this is not like a contract,
Correct.
so severability clause is probably not necessary. Paragraphs 8 and 9 of the agreement really make, clear the independent nature of the county and, the recovery center. Also, paragraph 9 makes it a non-binding agreement. Additionally, it can be amended upon written agreement of the parties, so there's nothing that is, yeah, this is more of
The
a
goal,
memorandum of agreement, memorandum of understanding than a contract, but a severability clause, it's not necessary, but it's easy to include. It could save potential headaches down the road. It's just whether or not we want it there. It probably won't make a hill of beans of difference, but it's easy to
on our
include.
side, we're not picky. So nope, I can definitely get those added and sent that back over here shortly.
And I just included some sample language, I mean, just as an example.
That works. That's perfect.
And then just to highlight what I see as the county's responsibilities, those are highlighted in paragraphs 3 and 5. So paragraph 5 kind of has them all outlined, but they're kind of duplicated in paragraph 3. So 3.1, the Crawford would be responsible for transport services. And I think you spoke about that just a bit ago.
That you would just support our establishment of the service.
Well,
So
so-
we're offering the service.
Okay.
We want to offer the
Okay.
service. We want your support in doing so with this state grant.
So it's not Crawford County setting up transport, okay,
No, we want to offer that service.
okay.
So we won't have any financial obligation.
I'm hoping to get this
So what
with
does
the
that
state. That's
support
our
look
goal.
like?
Um, I think Shirley just as a county, like, we want to work with the county. We're trying to get the funds from the state level to offset this. I know last time I met here, we did talk about maybe the county supporting the transportation. Now that there's an opportunity for the state to do it, we'd like to let them offset the cost. Now, we will have to build a sustainability plan, and that might come out with working with the county for some potential reimbursement down the line. So we do have to sustain it. We are working on building it into our budget, but that may be coming back and saying, okay, now we have opioid funding next year, can we use the county money to sustain it this year?
So it could potentially, so paragraph 5, support and coordinate transportation from Denison to the recovery center. That could potentially be Crawford County financially supporting it.
Potentially, yes, yep,
But that could come from our remaining opioid.
yes, absolutely. It absolutely could. I can't tell you what this is gonna look like in the future.
Sure.
And we might do it for a year, and it might be a complete failure.
Is this court ordered? The folks that have been court ordered to get treatment, or is this anybody that feels they have a
We would
problem?
like to offer to everybody and anybody that can come to
Okay.
treatment, because a lot of people are willing to come, they don't need a court order.
So someone
Nice
that's
to get
willing,
before they
that
do.
realizes they have the problem. Where are they going to go to commit themselves to say, I have a problem and I need help? Where would that individual who wakes up one morning and says, I don't want to live like this anymore,
ideally, where would they go?
Currently,
Crawford County.
there isn't an option in Crawford
That's
County.
not the right answer.
I know, there isn't a place in Crawford County right now anywhere for anybody to go.
How
that's-
do we fix that? How?
Talking
Well,
about
this
this
is
is
down
for
one.
visitor.
Yeah, this is
I know,
the only option we can currently offer, because the building that has been offered to us won't work. It just won't
I
work.
just,
And we don't have the financial ability to open a facility in Denison.
can they go to Crawford County Memorial Hospital and say, I have a problem, I need help? Is there someone, and I'm not putting anybody on the spot.
If I get that,
don't mean
There's
to
nobody
do
at
that.
CCMH. We currently do the evaluations for CCMH.
Okay,
So if somebody comes to their ER wanting help
okay,
and I can't speak 100% for their process, but if there's a mental health component, they bring an ITP,
okay,
a service that evaluates online.
okay.
ITP doesn't typically have somebody readily available to do the substance abuse eval, so they call us and we come up and do it. So that
Okay.
somebody's not sitting in the ER for 3 or 4 days after they want
We're
help.
talking 3 or 4 or 5 hours,
We typically do it within 24 business hours.
24.
99% of the time, it is the same day.
so that.
Unless it's on a
person's gonna go to
Saturday or
room
Sunday.
At the hospital, and wait.
No, they keep you in the ER.
They keep them in the.
They stay in the ER the whole time. You can't put somebody in the hospital that's not hospitalized.
Okay,
So they do, to my knowledge, I cannot speak
okay,
for Crawford
we're all
County.
just kind of.
Yeah, but to my
throwing
knowledge,
things
they
out.
sit in the ER
Okay,
until somebody comes to evaluate. If it's
Okay.
on a Saturday or Sunday, I do not currently have the staffing abilities. I only have one counselor, they can't leave my facility to come up there, but it's still quicker than what the services they have.
right,
So we do have a contract with Crawford County. When they call, come up,
okay,
typically same day, do that evaluation and get this patient the help or discharge if they don't need the help.
okay,
And then we do offer the services, but we keep running into the problem that patient needs services. They don't have a car, they don't have gas money, and they don't have Medicaid.
and their family's mad at them because it's taking them too
And they
long to
can't do
realize
anything.
they need this.
Yeah, and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
So
So will
the
any-
transportation is step one.
Will any insurance company, any insurance take care of that if they have an insurance? Any?
It depends. It depends. All the insurance companies have different plans.
All right,
But we are very good at walking the patients through that and helping them the process. And if they don't have insurance, I step-by-step instructions on what they can do to get them.
okay,
But they
All right.
have to be willing to do that.
that's a short discussion. That could be a
Yep.
very long discussion, but I just
Yep.
have those questions that
Yep.
concern me.
Currently, the only place in Crawford County for somebody to walk into is the hospital.
Okay.
And the ER is a terrible place for anybody to get treatment for this. Even in Manning, when patients walk into the ER, it's just not a great place.
It isn't, because that's their personnel are not equipped to deal with that.
They're
They're
not.
equipped to see somebody that's had an
And so we have a
accident. and
great
bleeding.
agreement with CCMH and we will
Yeah.
come up and
It is
take care of
great.
those.
It is great.
But that's still limited. It's still extremely limited. Ideally, yes, there'd be an outpatient facility, but it is gonna come at a cost to somebody.
Yes,
Because
and I would-
insurance doesn't pay enough to make it feasible.
I would think while they're waiting, they're gonna change their mind. Maybe I don't need this.
100% all the time. It happens all the time.
I just realize that.
On our
Sorry.
members,
Sorry.
we just get calling.
Other county
Sorry,
responsibilities would
Sorry,
include that office space that you guys were mentioning earlier, which coincides with paragraph 7, which is the confidentiality and living law.
Yep.
So having a dedicated space would have, seems like it needs some workshopping, on the county's end.
If we're just doing the intake assessment, we can use the large room. We would obviously have to put a sign up on the door
Yep.
to make sure nobody's walking in and out during that time frame. We could potentially, get creative if the VA lady's not in her office, we could potentially use that office. Be a little bit more secure. I had some thought processes around that, but that would only be for an initial evaluation. That's one-on-one, short-term process. And I would send my staff up to be able to do that.
And we could get some sliding.
You could,
Petitions to
You
kind
definitely
of,
could, as long as it was pretty noised.
Yeah.
White noise works
it would
well.
still be better than walking in. It would
Yes.
be at least back there.
Yep.
And there's, we have cameras and all sorts of things.
But I feel like that, it is at least a
A
start,
start.
that my staff could come up and meet with people in Denison, so they don't have to come to Manning.
So we're not talking any major building construction or remodeling
No,
or
and we're not
anything like that.
Talking
Trying
any
to-
major commitments either.
Right.
This is mostly so that I can continue, obviously, we'd continue keep working with you either way. But I feel like this gives Crawford County some credit for what you guys have already done, and all of that is listed, including your meeting minutes. I had to hunt those down. It's quite the entail of what has already been given to our facility and the partnership we've already worked with, and that we would like to continue that.
Then the
Maybe.
educational materials that the county will set out and dedicate space to, where are those materials? Will you
So-
provide those?
Yes, we would provide the materials, even just like a little, like I have a rack that just has some information on it that we could set outside the VA office. or other public health in the area, or even in the courthouse, wherever we could put them.
We have a place.
In the hospital, wherever we could provide the material, if we could just get around the county with the options of call this number, we'll come to you. What that looks like for us, we would provide the materials, yes.
Okay,
So no financial
Easy.
cost there, just
just space.
yes.
Yeah,
space
and then
of where we
ongoing
put it.
planning with the recovery centers, just probably stuff like this, I mean.
Yes.
Forward. Yeah.
Yeah,
So with it being time sensitive and you haven't have it in by 4 o'clock today,
as I'm leaving, I will call Shelley, have her fix it and email it back within the half hour.
so we could approve with the changes right now.
And then who would sign on behalf, who should I get this to, Colin and Dave?
If you give it to me, I can make sure Dave gets it.
Okay, yep, I will give it to you guys shortly.
I could, actually, I get down here. I can just run down to Manning.
Oh, okay. I'll email it to you and then,
Okay,
yep, that works perfect. I will be,
It's got one question, I mean, Ty pointed this out, looks like we should probably establish what do you trust? Would that be who would? I mean, obviously this needs to be done today, but would that be the ultimately who we would partner with? That trust partner with?
We created a council, you mean?
Yeah. Then the board of supervisors would fund the council. I don't know how that's gonna look yet, but
Yeah, I don't know. I
Are you
didn't, I
thinking of-
didn't read into the story very much. It was on, it was a NACO story.
is it like
It was
a
in your
council
paper.
specific for the opioid funding?
yeah, that's the way it kind of just.
So I sit on the council for Carroll County.
Did it say much
Counties
about that?
encouraged to create independent council for opioid.
Which in
How many
Carroll-
people serve?
There are 7 of us on the board.
And then you give recommendations of.
To the supervisors.
The supervisor. how to
Kind of save
spend
some
the-
supervisor time and yep. So we just started this. I was asked to be on it about 6 months ago when they developed it as the main provider in the lower county area. There are 7 of us that sit on it, a pharmacist, somebody with lived experience, myself as a provider. We have the county attorney sit on it,
Supervisor.
one supervisor representative, and then our public health, Maggie Polly runs it all, the public health person. She's kind of the head of it. They modeled it after Dallas County has a great one, and Greene County, I believe. And then Carroll County set it up, it's on their website. And we just did our first disbursement in October. We had applications, we all reviewed them, made sure they followed Appendix E, so that we were all within the regulations. There's an application process, there is the follow-up process, all kind of nicely documented. At Manning, that's where we applied for the trailer, so obviously I was out of that vote when they came to vote for it, because I leave the bias out of that. And then it went to the supervisors, and it was easy kind of for them to approve everything, because we had it nutshell into exactly what they needed and didn't use a lot of their time.
Put that on the agenda sometime.
Could you, I mean, after you
Discuss
get
that.
caught up,
Yes,
maybe send us the template
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
and we could model that and,
Should we put it on for next week?
Self an email.
So I dilly dally.
well, let's let her
We
get
catch
her.
her breath here on all this first.
When you get a chance,
Yeah,
hopefully sooner than later.
I'll get it done this
Right.
week. This is due today, so
All right.
then I'll get my wife caught back up.
Another job.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement with Manning Regional Health Care.
With
the corrections.
corrections.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Cool, perfect. I will get that taken care of, and I will get that email to Colin right away, and Dave, I will have a copy ready for you and Manning when you're done.
All right.
We have a motion and a second, and further discussion.
I think we talked it out.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Perfect, thank you guys so much.
Okay, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
No problem, I will see you soon.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks, Colin.
Yeah, I'll just be looking for it. Thanks.
Yeah, it will come from Shelley Ruby,
Okay,
my
All right.
marketing lady that will get taken care of.
okay, thank you.
We do. Craig wants-
EMS essential services actually standing in there.
Yeah.
Quite a while.
Satisfied.
We can come back for cost allocation plan.
Mandate public hearing.
You know that wrote down?
Which,
Make a motion.
No, I just said, I said, could we skip ahead to the public? Oh, Dave, or Zach, please.
That way you can go in and.
Patiently waiting in there,
Yep, let's do that.
eh? Zach,
Plus Craig one.
are you in, you waiting for a public hearing deal? Yeah. Just a second. We got two
Hi,
children
Ryan.
on the agenda. He wants to talk to us and.
The cost allocation should just be a quick.
Yeah, let's just.
We're gonna do it now. Craig, you gotta take off early, so we're gonna get the.
So we just gotta move our date.
Correct, to account for publication in newspapers. So I talked to Terry last week, and this is what You all have a copy of this?
It was in our
It was
packet.
Okay. So this is, we talked to Clay County and then she talked to a couple auditors as well too, and this is what, others have put in the paper. So 60 days, from today would be, the 31st of January, but papers go out Thursdays, I think.
Wednesdays in Denison and Thursdays in Mannigan, West Side,
Okay,
or Minnetonka West Side.
so we could get it out.
I can put it in the paper, it can go next week.
Next
It'll be published next week, the 10th and the 11th.
Okay, so then that would be 60 days from that point. Yeah, which would be Terry's got it.
We're February.
10th, okay, perfect. So the first day would be the February 10th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Be your first meeting.
That's Tuesday. Assuming,
February 10th,
right?
Correct.
10 a.m.
Okay.
I'll make that motion. Set the public hearing for the EMS essential services. February 10th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
And the
Second.
Okay, sure. Any other further discussion?
This is Tuesday.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Cool. Okay,
Thank
you guys. Be good. Thanks for
Yeah.
doing that.
Oh, yeah.
certification and cost allocation.
Yep. That was in our packet as well.
What is that exactly? Why did we have to do that?
What?
The
Do that every year.
certification of cost
That's
allocation
what
plan.
DHS is. They sort of have somebody come and analyze what,
DHS, who does that?
so what DHS says they're gonna pay us, the advisors, I don't know how, they do it every year.
I saw there was a fee associated with it, and I was just,
You know,
man,
they pay
we certify our budgets with the state of Iowa. I don't know why we do that. I don't know, I didn't understand what the step was, I guess.
I'm correct, I know Terry would be spot on it.
Right.
It don't cost us a dime,
Oh,
in the long run, I don't believe,
Okay.
because I think they backfill us.
Is it a pass through?
Yeah, so
They don't.
I don't know if it's something that needs to be paid today or what. It's, it always was that how much we were gonna receive for the building we rented down there.
Yeah.
And now that we're over here, we don't pay rent, so I mean, it's gonna be a direct payment
Right,
to us.
right.
so.
Well, Colin and I are working on that because I was gonna just have it be a memorandum of understanding kind of a deal, and she's kind of doing some research to make sure it covers. all
So
of
do you think
the
we can
things.
pass the cost allocation plan or wait on that until that gets summarized?
I almost think we should wait personally.
That's fine.
I'd like to
Because-
have all the
Pass some, we
details
don't
before I
know if we're
start
passing.
agreeing to something.
Yeah.
Well, we could take no action today and put it back on the agenda for
Yeah,
next week.
Colin, he was gone
Oh,
last.
Terry again next week, will that be all right? Do we need her for that?
Let somebody can stop in and just, well, she be, or
She'll be here tomorrow for the rest of the week.
she get, just run this past her, just give this all.
So she just taking vacation from us for the next 2 weeks?
Is that
I don't,
possible?
not that I blame her, mind you.
Is that possible?
Since you're working with Colin on that deal, could you talk to Terry?
Yes, I
about
can.
that? And then,
Because,
and then if it's a go, put it on the agenda. If
got
not,
it, got it.
does that sound good, guys?
That's all.
Yeah, that sounds good. I appreciate that.
Got it down to how many square feet, you know, the calendar part of it, how you, but just kind of exactly.
Take no action. Right. Go on to citizen input, and we have Ryan here.
I just have some info, I guess. I'm
Howdy.
new here. I want to make sure I'm handling my budget and stuff right. So there is a line item for projects. And I kind of seen where it was earmarked for a couple of different things like camera systems, like that. I don't think that's like a priority right now, at least this year. I've seen. We really need to update servers and storage. They're older. Some of them they have no service agreement anymore. Most of them are all out of warranty by now. I think that's where we need to be spending that money now rather than later.
What about our door?
That's what I was thinking. I want that to be.
That's a priority.
Okay, so that project I don't think should be near what's been earmarked for that.
Okay.
The other thing that I've seen is we have a line item for contracted IT, outside vendor. I don't foresee using anywhere near what that had been budgeted for. I'm doing a lot of it myself now. So I'm hoping I can just pull some of the funds from that also and get towards this server project. And then we can still see about, doing the doors, maybe not the camera systems this year, wait until next year on that, because there's really nothing wrong with the camera systems. If we do the door fobs and stuff, that would be a fraction of that.
What kind of money are you looking at with the outside vendors and the reallocation of which projects?
Well, right now, it was allocated at like $120,000 for contracted IT.
Okay, and you're saying we won't use even.
I'm not gonna use a bunch of that. Now,
Not
the only
even
thing
use
that
100,000 of that.
I am looking at is if that has something to do with Tyler Technologies, that we need to have some, if that's part of in there somewhere. So I've already reached out to them to help clarify if there's anything we owe for this year
Okay.
for fees with them or something, that might be part of that line item. And then also it would be for going forward.
What do you think in improving our servers and stuff, like you said, that we need this, what you think? What will that cost?
So right now, the quotes I have are right at about $100,000.
Okay.
And then there's also storage and then some, ongoing fees with, the backup we use is Veeam. And there's ongoing year to year on that. And so there's another about $30,000, but that's over 5 years, is what that's actually being
So
allocated towards.
6 a year, kind of.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But I mean, it would probably be paid up front. There again, I don't know how we can, if you can allocate that over the 5-year period or how that works, I guess, 'cause it's gonna have to be paid now.
I
But,
think you allocate it over the 5-year period
Yeah.
and stick it in your budget every year for
Okay.
5 years is what I would.
so I just wanna make sure that we can look at the door stuff still, absolutely. Especially if you think that's a priority.
It's the security.
It's been a priority.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Will
with
these
our-
cards that Zach makes work for that? Can Zach make the cards for that?
Yeah,
That saves us.
Yeah.
We've got that on hand already.
it's gonna just be a matter of running cables to each of the doors. Cause, I know we were talking about doing the office doors also, is what I've heard, but your priority right now would be the outside doors?
Outside doors are priority.
Yeah. So that would be a fraction of what, it was put that in for that camera system and stuff.
I mean, personally, Ryan, I think when we made a change in our IT director, we made a change in the vision and what they saw was important. And so as long as you can stay within the budget that we've approved for 25, 26, I mean, I don't have a problem with you moving priorities within that budget as long as you're not requesting any more dollars.
As of right now, I don't believe.
I mean, I don't know what the rest of
I
the board,
agree.
No different than
Yeah.
secondary road buying
Yep.
tree
Yep.
shears or something different than.
than what they had thought about, but.
So I just want to make sure that you're aware that if, especially the camera system, if we push that next year when I put it in my budget again, you're like, well, hey, we already budgeted that. Last year, why didn't it done or where was
I
it? So,
mean, there are things that pop up, and then you see a definitely need that server are failing, or you think
Right,
this is a dire need, and
from an IT standpoint, I understand that it's not like, a shirt that I have that's 20 years old, that I have to be careful. Man, I can't go to a party with this shirt on. I wore it 20 years ago. I don't want to be shot with the same, but IT wise, you can't have something 20 years old.
But if you think you can manage servers and the doors to an extent, you go for it.
we're talking outside, exterior doors.
Exterior, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we'll
I
look
mean,
at
even if it's one door and all the rest of the keys get taken away, I mean,
Yep, the only.
you can still people can access the building.
Through that one door.
No.
Right.
As I clarified too, you're talking these 3 external doors, not the one going down towards the sheriff, right? That would just remain locked at
Yeah.
night.
Right.
Okay. So,
Security of this building, I think
We've talked to Ryan, and there's some bigger project in mind that the IT committee wants to tackle, plan for it earlier, so we can maybe even budget for it over a couple of years.
well, the servers are gonna be the highest cost that I can foresee in general, that's gonna be, like I said, Brown. Servers, storage, and then that ongoing maintenance over a 5-year period. It's like 130,
When you say storage, what does that mean?
so all of our backups. So we have all of our
Storage, meaning Like
backups.
in the cloud, or meaning? we
It's
have to
a
have
little bit of
hard-
combination of both.
Okay,
So we have backups here, and then we do use some of the Veeam cloud storage. That's part of that 5-year price. And so they would, the storage actually has some issues right now. I'm having to fight with it constantly, trying to get it to
We just don't
maintain.
wanna
and
get hit with 1 year, all of a sudden, boom, 500,000, we need.
No, this would be the big chunk, the 140,000, whatever, is gonna be by far the big chunk. Then, yeah, that's everything over at least a 5-year period for servers and storage. And then
Okay.
that's also including, like I said, the ongoing year-to-year costs over the next 5 years.
How often should you update your server? I mean, is that,
5
okay,
years is kind of the norm, if you can stretch it out to 6 or 7. I mean, that's where we're at right now already, is like that, like, I think it was 2018 or 19.
so we're at
I
7
believe.
years.
Yeah, and the problem being is that, like I said, the warranties are by far
The other
gone.
thing, that's
and
the best
support.
stocks out there, they create their own page stream.
Exactly, Tyler.
But the problem we have is Tyler is on a standalone, one physical server. I was blown away when I got here and it wasn't down in the server room even, it was sitting in the IT office. So that was one of the things I did, like the first weekend I got here, was move it down into the server room. You get it down there in the temperature controlled and on the good battery backups and everything, because that's everything. If that goes down, we have a major issue if that goes down. I mean,
Right.
every single person would be affected, outside of maybe secondary roads down there.
Okay. Tyler,
So,
what's that?
I'm surprised.
but, so I think that's definitely a priority we need to
Right.
go
I
towards.
appreciate you bringing that to our attention. Yeah,
I just want to make sure that that was good to
You're
kind of
on the
reallocate
right-
that
you're on
around.
the right
Yep.
path.
We're good.
Absolutely.
And waiting actually helped because now they got, of course, their year-end things and we got like another $10,000 off of what they've given me, so.
order it online, get Cyber Monday or whatever. Yes.
I don't know that, unfortunately.
No, and we appreciate you.
Get
Were always
on
welcome to come
Temu,
and talk
see
to
what
us.
they have.
We encourage it.
I just wanted to clarify, we're
Order
good there.
backhoe on there.
All right,
Sounds good,
All
thanks,
right.
Ryan.
all right, thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Anyone on citizens input for Zoom?
Well, Ryan just left.
Okay.
Nope.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say
All right,
aye. Adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
see you.